Hi, folks. I am just doing a little writing here. Hi, Mark. Hi, Sherry. I got your email today. So, here's a little bit of what I wrote today. He was relieved when he pulled in the driveway for the second time that day and saw the lights lining the concrete walkway illuminated. Immediately, he wondered if maybe they were solar powered and the electricity wasn't turned on. But that concern faded when he could see a few interior lights on in various rooms through the windows. As he parked the van in the driveway, he spoke out loud, saying, "I'm going to make a fortune flipping this place." It didn't register to him how out of character that optimistic thought was for him. Maybe even at 50 years old, he was changing. Had he thought about it, he would have dismissed it for something negative. Tom used his phone to record his return. "Let's take a look at what we got here," he said as he exited his van and headed up the front walk. In and of itself, that was an odd statement. He had just said, "I'm going to make a fortune flipping this place," followed by, "Let's take a look at what we got. We got." He switched between first and third person in referring to himself, particularly odd since he was alone and talking out loud. The switching between first and third person was not that unusual. Some psychologists associate it with self promotion or narcissism, specifically when it came to speaking in the third person. This was not in alignment with how Tom saw himself or how others saw him, but it still happened. As he approached the front door, the foyer lights came on, the result of him tripping a motion detector he didn't know was there. It startled him seeing the light come on. But even more alarming was the fact that the front door was open a few inches. "What the fuck? Did I leave that open?" he asked himself. The fact that he was always speaking his thoughts out loud never registered as odd to him, but it was odd nonetheless. Had he ever actually gone to a psychologist, they might be able to explain to him why he did this. The fact was, he rarely noticed he was talking to himself, so it caused him no concern. His heart pounded as he pushed the door open and saw the foyer in disarray, nothing like he left it earlier. A ladder and an artificial tree laid side by side immediately in front of him. Behind that, he could see chairs moved into a position blocking the living room doorway. He stepped over the ladder and moved forward. When he reached the doorway of the living room, he could see the piano was away from the wall. One of the end table lamps was now lying on the couch, and two upholstered chairs were turned on their sides in front of an open door. Any normal person would have called the police immediately, but the way his mind worked, he worried that doing so would create a negative public record that could affect selling the house. He also believed whoever was responsible for this mess was no longer in the house. Otherwise, he would have moved more quietly. His footsteps were heavy, and he moved the chairs without regard for alerting an intruder to his presence. He could now see that the door those chairs blocked opened to the basement stairwell. The fact that the stairs were lit offered no comfort, considering the basement itself was dark. Moreover, he could hear something moving in the basement. This was no longer an investigation post break in. This was now him catching the intruder in the act. His heart raced, but there was a bit of a distance between him and whoever or whatever was down there. The sound he heard was metallic, like a cart being wheeled around or a can rolling on the floor. He checked the doorknob, seeing the lock was on his side, and in that instance, he figured he could throw, and in that instant, he figured he could throw one of the chairs down the steps if someone started coming up and lock the door. That would give him enough time to get out of there and actually call the police. It wasn't a great plan. "Hello?" Tom called out. After a few seconds, there was a loud crashing sound, and his plan to throw a chair down the stairs and lock the door went unexecuted. Instead, he ran for the front door into the night. Running was not his strong suit, but he did his best to quickly reach the van and hop inside. He started the engine and threw the vehicle in reverse, turning around quickly in the Y-shaped driveway. He now faced the road in a position to make a quick exit, but sat there with the car in gear and his foot on the brake. He looked back at the front door to see if anyone was headed out and dialed 911. It no longer mattered to him how doing so would be perceived. It only took 5 minutes for the police to arrive, and during the time when he saw no one come out of the property, Tom began to regret calling them. When the police pulled into the driveway, Tom started to open the door and get out of the van, not realizing the car was still in gear. He awkwardly hopped back in and pressed on the brake, then put the car in park. He then exited the vehicle. "Hello, I think there's a," he started to blurt out, but was quickly cut off by the police officer shouting, "Turn off the vehicle," as she placed her hand on her sidearm and shined her flashlight in his face. Tom had never so much as ever gotten a parking ticket, yet here he was about to get shot, or so he thought. The reality was the cop showed up, saw someone in a running vehicle acting strange, and she followed protocol. She had no idea who he was. What do you think, Hal?
Great.
You like it?
Yes.
Hello, Juan Gonzalez Daza.
Act. Act.
I have considered doing an audiobook eventually, but first it's going to be the hardcover for Christmas, the hardcover book. Then it's going to be paperback and audiobook. So sometime in that time we'll do both. But what do you think? Does it read well? Your writing puts me right into the scene. I assume you meant puts and not purrs. Now, it's also going to talk about how the cop didn't know who he was, but she did know for the past several months driving by the house, there was a for sale sign out, and she didn't know that somebody had bought it. So him with his anxiety, and you notice that I'm writing Tom as having more anxiety than we saw in the film. However, it does explain the way he acted in the film. This is going to be good, folks. Oh my God. Order it now. $5,000. No, I'm kidding. I'm just very pumped up about this.
Before I leave, do you want to hear the latest Stranger Things theory that's going around?
Well, first of all, we're going to cover two things. What's the horror movie you said is coming out this weekend? Cobweb. Where's it going to be?
Streaming. Didn't specify.
Well, what the fuck does that mean? All right, streaming. Cobweb. It's supposed to look good. All right, now what's the latest?
The boy thinks there's people living inside the walls.
Oh, we watched that tonight. It's available now.
Oh, you saw the trailer, you mean?
Yeah, and it's not cheap.
Well, fine, fuck it, then forget it.
Listen, calm down over there. I got people here. They're not here to hear us fight. Well, they probably are. But what is the Stranger Things rumor?
Well, there's a new McCain's French fry commercial. Have you seen it or heard about it?
No.
Do you remember the dumpy chick from the first season?
The redhead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's in character.
Well, wait a second. You guys might be not able to hear this. Remember the girl that died in the pool or something in the first season, the redhead? She's in this new McCain's French fry commercial in the Stranger Things character?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And she's talking about how McCain's is a company that works with, farmers and stuff like that. And they said this is rich soil that can bring bring anything back, even me.
Oh.
And
So she talked. Can you guys hear her?
my big mouth.
Or do I need to repeat this?
And after she says that, can they hear me or not?
Nobody mentioned whether they can hear you or not.
Why do I even try?
Can you hear her? Well, why don't you come close?
I
You're
don't feel
rude.
like it.
My God, you're rude to the fans. They adore you. And it's a mystery to me also. Oh, they can hear you. Go ahead.
All right. So after she says that, a figure walks in front of the camera. You can't see who it is. But the theory is that it's either time travel for the last season, or everybody that's in the Upside Down is actually alive in the real world. They just have to get out of the Upside Down.
Fascinating. What about Eddie?
He's in the Upside Down.
Is he a vampire?
He might be. That was a theory 15 years ago when the season ended.
Hi, Tracy.
And then ask my horror movie question, and then I'm leaving it.
What's your... Oh, here's a horror movie question going around TikTok and other bullshit. What is the scariest opening scene of any horror movie you've ever seen? Do, 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 do. Don't forget, Saturday night, we're doing Sealmanville Road, though. Anyone, what's the scariest opening scene of any horror movie you've ever seen? Was it Lights Out? Didn't that have a scary opening with the Lights Out bullshit?
I'm sure I don't remember the beginning of that one.
Serbian film.
No, I never saw it.
We don't know what that is. Thank you, Hunter. I can't wait for it either. Thank Tracy.
All right, I'm leaving.
All right.
Nobody wants me around. Nobody's
No,
interested in
they
what I'm
said they
saying.
can hear you. They said there's comments here that hi Holly, got me. Tracy said there. You've now got people thinking, and you're going to leave. Oh, you're standing up. I was still looking over there. I said, man, she blends right into the background.
So I'm marked for now.
I didn't know if I was going to. Ghost Ship. Oh yeah, where
Yeah,
they
that
all
was
got
mentioned.
cut. Yeah, that she said not scary but good.
No, but
She's
it's not scary, but it's memorable.
right.
Somebody mentioned.
Everybody got sliced in half. Except for the little girl. She was below the level.
Well, what's yours?
Mine? I'd have to think. I mean, didn't it, like, now The Conjuring always builds up. What about the Annabelle bitch? No, I can't remember. I'll have to give it some thought. You just throw me under such pressure. They expect me to deliver. Scream. Hunter says Scream. Hello. What's her name? No, but what was Drew Barry? Yeah. Casey, you don't know. I'm getting yelled at from the other room here. I apologize for her behavior. So I didn't know if I was going to be a broadcast tonight because we were having some decent thunder and lightning. But now off to this side, which is east, is over there is Ocean City is that way. Then there's Longport, Ventnor, Margate, Atlantic City, and If there were no trees and it was flat, I would have to look that way to see Atlantic City. But over here, over like the Ocean City and Longport area, I could see lightning over the ocean, but it's just like hanging out there off the shore. It's not here. Um, but Atlantic City tomorrow is having an air show. Oh my God, did they hear that?
I'm gassy. I'm sorry.
Gassy, you're like an animal. And I have to, the Benites.
I think it was from I had my noodles for lunch today, and I think
The
that's
Babadook?
Yeah,
I'll check for them tomorrow.
thank you. I only have one left.
What are they called? Babazuka?
Bulldog.
Bulldog. She likes this bulldog. It's like this ramen bullshit.
Very spicy. I got the carbonara ones, which are fine, and I'm going to eat them because I paid for them. But they're not as good as the spicy black.
She
ones.
had carbonara, but she likes the Babadook, the bulldog. Some ramen bullshit with all artificial ingredients. She'll live to be 100 because it's all starting to make her body turn to non-decay. Ms. Fernandez says, go, Holly. It's better out than in. You know what my neighbor growing up, John Sella, used to say? Didn't pay the rent, so out it went. Oh, look at her. She's over. They can't see you.
I'm showing you that I'm wearing shorts.
I saw that you're wearing shorts. She is showing a leg. I'm wearing shorts too. Look. My body has become essentially hairless.
That's good to know.
Look, Archer standing there. Are you going to take them out one more time?
Yes. Did you tell them about your bad day yesterday that you weren't feeling well?
Yeah, I told him yesterday how I didn't get into my bodily functions, but I did. It was the oddest thing. I felt, all right, now she made me broach a subject. I felt constipated, but I woke up at like, the hell's that? Cars out front beeping. What? I got weapons. I'll stop them. But I had so I got up and I couldn't go. And then I went out and we were out on the road and suddenly I had to go. So I came home because I don't like going in. That's all right. I don't like going in a strange toilet. Plus I had the bidet at home. So, I threw up at like 4 a.m. and then I felt better. And then I went out, had to rush home, and I couldn't go. And I had this unbelievable pain. And you know what relieved it? I'm sorry for being graphic, but I peed. And that relieved it. And I think I passed the kidney stone. Oh, let me put my knee down. Slappy burritos getting all worked up. Oh, I had 2 colonoscopies in my life. Now, I will tell you that when they put you under, it's like amazing. But the prep for that. Alien Agenda is I'm starting the process this weekend of ordering the closed captioning for 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then I'll be able to load them to Amazon, but they won't be. Amazon doesn't allow me to put them on Prime anymore. They have to be available for rent or purchase. And there's a possibility they'll be put on Tubi, but That's a long process. It's not that long, but it's a process. But what's wrong with Roku or Fire TV? You can purchase them individually. Although, if you purchase the subscription, you can subscribe for 1 month for $3.99, watch everything, and then cancel. Something that's in the works, that became in the works since yesterday, is to be able to put some of the material on the Roku channel and the Fire TV channel that will be free with a commercial. Who texted me? Well, that's okay. Is she muddy? Archer has a habit now of under this back deck, it's covered, and he takes a shit like within 36 inches from the back door. September, I was told. The actual company that hosts Michael, who's been in here before, he has he's the person that salvaged my Roku channel. Sorry, looking at my teeth. And he is currently, they're testing the web TV. So it should be, if everything works, it should be, we're about a month away. I don't own a TV. Fee. What's that mean? Fee. A lot of people don't have TVs now. But when this is available on the computer, you'll be able to watch. Next month. A lot of things are going on in the background here right now. And by the background, I don't mean behind me. You just saw a dog run by. But a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Umphy means friend. Where are you from, Sputnik? So, you guys like how the book sounds as I'm reading it? Saskatchewan. Okay, that explains it. It's a regional dialect. You know what? People always talk about my accent, but I was talking to Holly, and there are certain very slang things. I said, she's back. There are very slang things. Haven't I said, like, din it? Yeah. That means didn't it. I say din it, done it, doesn't it? I don't say do it.
Anybody out there seen the movie Zapata?
Has anybody seen the movie Apocalypse Now? What's it called? Zapata. Mm-hmm. Has anybody seen Zapata? Oh, wait.
She came back out.
Is she back out here? She went over to her pillow. She'll come over.
Right here.
No. Tracy said no. She hasn't heard of no damn apothecary.
That's okay.
Sable, you want to come up and say, oh, your nails, your gosh darn nails. Come on. Come on. Sable. Oh, no. That's the bullshit. Look at her right there. She's insane. Look at her. Gianluca says, "Hi, Nigel, you're awesome." You would know because you're awesome. I want to see a raving. Carmela asks, "Did you ever have a phenomenon, a paranormal, you mean? Experience in my past?" No, I've never really. I mean, there's been a couple things. There was the thing when I was a kid I told you about taking the Polaroid up the street. We had a neighbor, Helen, she was like, her sister owned the house and lived on the first floor, and she took care of a blind lady named Beatrice. And on the second floor was an apartment that Helen had. And Helen was, I don't know the proper term for it, but she was like, kind of like, she had some mental issues, but they weren't like any sort of, her mental issue was she was like a 60-year-old child. And she couldn't smoke in the house. So she used to take the dog for a walk and she'd smoke a cigarette. So you would see her out at 10 o'clock at night walking the dog around the block. And what was funny was they had a cat that used to walk with them. And, but anyway, she used to walk up the street. The neighbors would all keep an eye on Helen just to make sure there was no problems. And one night, my best friend 2 doors down at the time, his name is Lemuel. He goes by Lee now, though. I haven't talked to him in years. But Lee and I used to have, Friday night was a big deal because my parents would go grocery shopping, and we were now of the age where we could stay home alone, and it was cool, but it was only for like an hour or two. And anyway, we were out front, and we looked up the street, and we saw Helen standing all the way up across the busy street on the corner. So we said, "What's she doing?" So we went walking up there to see if there was an issue. And as we got closer, I mean, it was like a shadow, but it looked like Helen. And as we got closer, it was foggy. As we got closer, it disappeared. And it was under a street light. So it was just shadows, we figured. So when we walked back, we could see the figure again. So I got my mom's Polaroid camera, which was a big deal. Now we can take like 1,000 pictures a day. Like they say something like 2 billion photos are taken an hour with phones and all. But back then, taking a Polaroid, it was like $10 for a package of 10. So it was a dollar. And this is the 70s, like probably mid 70s. So it was a big deal taking a Polaroid. But we walked up close right to where the image like seemed to vanish. And we snapped the Polaroid. And we looked at the picture and there was nothing. So we took it home. I laid it on the dining room table. My parents come home from grocery shop. There was nothing in the picture. And sat on the dining room table. And my mother walks in and she says, "Who's this?" And I'm thinking I'm going to get shit because there's a Polaroid. I took a picture. I thought we saw something strange. And she goes, "Who's that in the picture?" So what are you talking about? And in the upper right-hand corner of the picture was what looked like a lady's head looking sideways, and her hair was like flowing. It was just a head, but the hair was like several feet behind her head, like flowing, like it was a head flying across in front of the camera. Thank you, Zoinka Doodle. Are you guys making me say something dirty with these names? And yeah, that's a true story. We used to, next door to my other friend who lived on the busy street, he was one of 12 children. And next door to their house was an old abandoned house. And anytime there was an abandoned house, you call it a haunted house, whether you ever saw anything or not. We used to go in there and creep ourselves out. But I don't. That picture might be in this house somewhere, but I looked for it for years while I still lived in my childhood home. And it was around for a couple years. And then I can remember there was a box like this that had all the Polaroids standing up in. And if I ever find that here, Hunter, the idea of Bad Ben was just because I I thought I could make a movie that was like found footage. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. The actors I had in the movie dropped out, so I just decided to do something with myself, and that's how I did Bad Ben. I made it up as I went along. And hi, Tracy. How many more Bad Bens do I think I have in me? Well, there was for a brief period of time. I thought 13 would be the end, but it looks like it's going to be 15. But you know what, folks? As long as I keep coming up with ideas and there's stuff to do, I'll keep making them. I just might not make them at a clip of 2 a year going forward. Might make one a year, one every 2 years. I want to work on other things for the channel too. Like we're working on animations. We're working on restarting the Access Paranormal. I actually have footage to continue that from months ago. And then there's a couple things we're working on. Golden Doodles. Let me tell you a story about Golden Doodles. The two dogs we had before Sable and Archer, Byron and Duke. Duke lived to be 10. He was a big dog. They were from the same litter, but it reminded me of Abbott and Costello. Duke was big and Byron was small, but still bigger than Archer even, who is the biggest of these two. And we took them to obedience class, and in that class there was all kinds of dogs of all different types of behaviors, and Byron and Duke were so good, but the smartest dog in the class was a golden doodle or a labradoodle. I think it was a golden doodle. Dracula, we just got yesterday. We just got what we finished getting what we needed to start. So the character we have, the actor we have playing Dracula, we're going to get him down next week, and we'll be shooting the opening scene. Well, the final film, I've explained many times in here. The plan for the final film is it opens with the ending of the previous film. What? Good night. How many times you going to say good night? Oh, this one. And what happens is Nigel Bach walks back into the house after finishing the last film, and shit starts happening. It's going to be a dark film. Shit starts happening because he has opened a portal into, by mocking the paranormal and all the shit he's been doing for years, playing with Ouija boards, reading spells, calling out the names of demons. He actually brings evil into the house. I have outtakes from every film. It would one of these days maybe we'll go through, because I save every film in duplicate, and the originals I also have them here, and I have them off site in the event that, God forbid, there was ever something catastrophic that happened in the house. The original copies exist elsewhere. Holly! Hang on a second, folks. Holly! I'm asking her if Sophie's with her because there's a cat right now out in the front of the house. If you look closely, right there, that's a cat. Let me go peek out here, folks. I'll be right back. All right, I'm out front. I can't flip the camera around. But down there. Oh. Oh my God, it's right there. Holly, are you watching? Oh my God, folks, this is terrifying. Let's see if I can. It's right there staring at me. Can you see that? I'm going to get my ass kicked. There, did you see it run? Come here, kitty, kitty, kitty. I'm going to get attacked by a wild cat here. You're seeing this live. If something jumps out here, I am going to shit live. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Look, there I am. It was right here. Look, there's Holly, everyone. And when I went, huh? I can't hear you. Open the window, crap. I would, but it walked back up the sidewalk when I went, but it stopped. We're going to adopt this cat if I can get it. But Sophie will fight with it. We can maybe put it on the porch and then introduce it slowly. I don't know where it is. If I could turn my light on this phone. Hang on. I'm going to try not to disconnect here. Let me try and find the light on this phone. Oh, shit. The light won't stay on. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Cars are going by. I'm standing out here, defenseless. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. I don't say it. I'll put food out. Holly! Get some treats. Get some treats. I don't know if you guys are still watching or not. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. We've got air conditioning. I won't. I can't show Holly on camera because she sleeps in the nude. Well, I'm bouncing the phone. It looks white. Like that was on the night vision. Here, I think I can see right here. So I'm putting here, kitty, kitty, kitty. There's treats. Don't forget to shut that window. Now this is back to me. I hope, of course, the back deck camera's still on, because I'm going to switch out of here now. I don't know how to get that. All right. Were you all tuned in for that? So I put treats out there, and I can see on the camera if she comes back here. And I'll let you know. Quorum. Did you find her? All right. We have made sure our cat didn't get out. I don't play many games. What were you guys talking about? No, I was in my shorts. But I can, with the night vision, the camera's really clear. And I'm trying to see if this kitty cat comes back. Hal, tomorrow we're putting out a bowl of cat food. Gotta be careful though. That'll bring raccoons and possums too. But this cat has been running around outside here for years. Actually, I'm going to turn off the front yard light. Well, it shuts off itself in 10 minutes. So that'll put it on pure night vision, and we'll be able to do. We can do, if this cat comes back up here, I'll find it. There actually is a way to import the signal, but let me try something here. I'll see if I can do something. Oh. I can't do it. It won't let me do it. Let me see. Let me see something else here real quick. Desktop IP camera. IP camera viewer. Or what is that app called that I use here? Oh, it might not work. Let me see here. I'm going to try to bring it up and I'll be able to share it and we'll be able to watch. Yes, security cameras are set up. So if you ever try to come to my house, you'll be recorded. It's downloading very slowly. All right, I wasn't going to do this, but I'll have another cigar with you. Where is this downloading to? Maybe this will work. Let's see. Oh, it's coming up. Let's see here. I don't think it'll work. No, it won't allow me. It comes up, but it won't allow me to install a camera. If I could do this, I could plug you in and you could watch. Let me try it again. No, it won't let me set it up. Well, there's no cat out there yet. Let me see this thing. The one problem with this program is it always gives a security warning. I can't get this. I'm sorry, folks. I don't know why I can't install why that Fozcam app. Well, let me set it up. I'm trying. Why won't this let me set up? It won't emulate. Oh, that's no good. Anyway. Okay, Corey. Shit. I wish I could have brought that up, but I'm still watching here, and if the cat does appear, I will show you. In 1 minute, it'll go off. So, for those of you that have just joined us, while we've been doing this live, a cat appeared out front, walking down the walkway. Holly said I can leave cat food out tomorrow. I will. But the cat, when I walked out front and I went, pss, 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 it did turn around and walk back up the walkway and sat there. But then I opened the door and it ran. So we put some treats out. Hope the lights went out. Or now they did. Hey, Google, turn off the front yard lights.
All right, turning the front yard lights all off.
And they didn't go out. Now they do. I'll let you know if there's any activity, folks, because now it's real clear. So that was an exciting broadcast because we got to see the cat. No, that wasn't a paranormal. It was a little weird though when I went out there because the way the light was shining in my eyes, all I could see was the silhouette, and the cat looked really big. Maybe it was a bobcat, but we don't have them here. Although out in these woods, who knows? I'm so focused on it. That was diet, caffeine-free diet Coke. And I still in the distance here see lightning, but it's so nice out here. Ugh, I should sleep out here. No, no cat. So anyway, where were we? Well, Saturday night were the Perseids meteor showers, and Scott was here with me because we did the live broadcast for Bad Ben. And then when we went out front, I turned out all the lights and we looked up and I saw 2 meteors quickly. And then he left and I went in the backyard, and because I was getting a stiff neck looking up, and I saw 1 or 2 like out of the corner of my eye. Anybody want to be live? Anybody want to talk live? Here, let me here's the number you can call me at. Oops, what did I do? The phone line's open. Born in Pleasantville. No, you're calling from an unknown number, so I'm not going to answer that because that means you're going to say something stupid. I won't publicize your number, but I was born in a city called Pleasantville, New Jersey. You won't be on camera now. All right. Hello.
Call to voicemail.
Do what? How do oh shit. Somebody called me. You want me to call you? I don't want to call you back. I had to hit a button and I didn't. This is a wise guy too. do I answer it? Hello?
Yo,
I'm here.
what's up, Nigel?
What's up? Who's this?
This is Rich 899.
Oh, hi. How are you? What's up? What? Talk to me. Tell us something. Tell us exciting going on.
I like your Bad Ben horror movies.
Yeah.
They're really cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Now, now I get the impression you're about to say something to make fun of me.
No, I'm not. I really like you, Nigel. You're a really cool guy. I just want to say, I really appreciate your work. I like how you're doing, and I just want to say, keep up the good work, and I hope we get another Bad Ben movie soon.
You're going to get one as soon as we possibly can make it. We're starting the actual shooting for it next week. But I thank you for calling in, and I'm sorry I hung up on you the first time.
It's okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The lines are open, folks, if you want to call in. That was a nice call. Sherry, this won't be on camera now. Call in. I have a telescope. I can't figure it out. And I'm a smart guy. Ooh, lightning. All right. Nobody else is going to call me? I'll leave your phone open anyway. No sign of the kitty cat. But I bet you something else walks up there. Watch. You're trying and you what? Can't get through? Oh, here we go.
Note to send call to voicemail.
Hello, you're on with Nigel.
Oh my God, this is Shireen. Hi, Nigel.
Hi, Cherie. How are you? I'm holding the phone down so it can't be seen on camera and the whole world doesn't get your phone number and then you yell at me.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I really didn't have anything planned on saying. I just said I'd call in because that's pretty cool.
Well, I got your email today and we're ordering shirts this week. And also I will send you the link so you have the full version of 12. Cherie, can I tell the part you were in the movie to the people that have seen it?
Yeah, sure.
There's in those of you that have seen the full version of Bad Ben 12 Alien Agenda, when the UFO is first coming in for a crash landing and you see people pointing up and like because the UFO's flying over, Cherie's one of those people with her 6'5" son, right?
Yeah.
That's what and they look up and she goes, "Holy shnikes, what was that?" See, I remember.
Yeah.
So I
And I'm pretty tall too, so I guess he's like way taller than me. So
6'5".
I can't tell how tall he is from next to me because I'm pretty tall.
Wow, if you guys ever visit, I'll have to make sure I'll have to measure the ceiling height.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
well, what? Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I live in Billings, Montana. We just had the air show here last weekend, and our backyard is like right next to the airport. So we had a really nice view from that.
Now, is that at like a guard base or was that at the civilian airport?
The civilian airport, yeah. We only have one here.
Okay,
And
because
it was the Blue Angels.
we have the Thunderbirds tomorrow in Atlantic City. I don't go. It's too crowded.
Okay.
But the reason why they have the Thunderbirds here is because the Air National Guard base that hosts them is over here in the same town I'm in, but the opposite side of it. And they have F-16s there So it makes it, and the Thunderbirds are F-16s, so it makes it easy if they require any maintenance or something.
Oh, cool.
So
Okay, I thought maybe they were coming from here and going over to there. So.
well, that's what they normally do, because tomorrow they'll perform at the end of the air show about 3:00 in the afternoon, and then they fly on to the next place they're going, or they fly back to Vegas.
Nice.
So, but yeah, that'll make for a busy time here. Well, it was not, can I tell you real quick my Montana story in your airport?
Absolutely.
I had to go to
Well, you said it Great Falls, right, or something?
Great Falls, but is that different?
Yeah, I'm in Billings.
Okay.
It's maybe like 2.5, 3 hours from here.
Have you ever flown into Great Falls?
No, I've been there though, but I've never flown in.
You've been in the airport and they have the grizzly bear in the big glass showcase?
Oh, I've never been to the airport there.
Oh, okay. Well, and anyway, I'll tell you the story. There's a big glass showcase with a grizzly bear in it. That's the story. So, all right, let me let you go.
Oh, I appreciate that you let the fans interact with you, and that you're real fun to watch, even just driving around with Holly, and I appreciate all you do.
Thank you very much. You like watching Mr. and Mrs. Biggins? Do you ever get to watch when we go? Do you ever get to watch when we go to Cousin Doherty's?
Yes. Yeah.
One of these days, I'm going to bring Cousin Doherty on live.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And I'm going to tell her to complain, because that's all she does.
Awesome. She'll have to do her ow.
Ow.
Yeah.
You all can see her go, ow. Like when I'll bring her one box of strawberries and she'll say, ow, you just brought me one box?
That's right.
So, all right.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for calling in. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Line's open if anybody wants to call. And I'm still watching eagerly to see if our cat returns. Oh, here comes a call. Hang on, I'm connecting you. Oh, shit. Hello, you're on with Nigel. Hello? You're breaking up. It could be my phone, though. I can kind of hear you. Barely, yeah. Go ahead. You want to try moving around a little, because your phone's breaking up and I can't. I'm hearing like every other word. You still there? Yeah, it's really breaking up bad. I got full strength, so I don't think it's my phone. Maybe if you move closer. Maybe if you move closer to a window. All right, I'm going to have to let you go because it's breaking up and I can't hear you. I'm sorry. All right. Thanks for calling, though. Sorry about that, guy. You were just breaking up and couldn't hear you. But the phone line's open if anybody wants to call in. It was improvised, Sherry. It was very cool because I don't know that I've ever actually talked to you. But you've been a supporter for years now, and you've been in the film. And I should have asked. Oh, Juan, I'm sorry. Juan said it was him calling in, but he has bad service. I'm sorry about that. Because I was hearing like every other word. Wow. We've been on for an hour and 15 minutes. Well, maybe I'll be back there next year, Cherie. And see, Becky says you did great. One of my biggest contributors, every contributor is a big contributor, but I asked them if they wanted to do a FaceTime to talk about some details, and they said they're a bit camera shy, which I get. You know, I'm always in front of the camera doing these things. The first time I did one of these, it was very nerve-wracking, but now it's just kind of regular. If anybody else wants to call in, let me check what the number is. That's the number. You can call in live if you want. And by the way, that's a digital line, folks. So when I'm done doing this, I switch it off. So if anybody wants to call and say, like, fuck you, I won't hear it. I don't know if I'm going to have Scott with me Saturday night, but if there's not Scott, there's always Mrs. Biggins. Maybe we'll broadcast from back here with the doggos. You know what, though? This breaks connection. I don't want to do that. I can hardwire it in now. All right, well, if nobody else is going to call in, let me take that down and let me switch the phone off before I get those crazy calls. Oh, hang on. Hang on. You're live with Nigel.
Hey, Nigel, it's Squatch Rider.
Squatch Rider. We finally get to meet Squatch Rider, everyone. You're not going to say anything nasty to me, are you?
No, not at all, man. Love your work.
You're Chicago, right?
That's right.
See, I pay attention. Everybody,
for sure.
You guys have been seeing Squatch Rider come up here for a long time when we do these live broadcasts. Well, now we actually have them live on the line. So what's going on in Chicago?
Yeah, just living the dream, trying to get through summer, surviving the day.
I don't think I've ever been to Illinois or Chicago.
Well, Chicago's a different animal, so take it as we can.
It's a big TV market, though. Back when I used to do television commercials, there's an orb on the front lawn. It's probably a mosquito. But back when I used to do TV commercials, I got to learn in the largest market area in the country was New York. Second was LA, and the third was Chicago, and the fourth was Philly. So, but Chicago was a big market area. In fact, that's where Oprah Winfrey did her show from for all those years.
That is correct, back in the old days.
Yep, back in the old days. I remember every day my mother used to watch her. So,
sure. Hey, quick question for you.
Sure.
What has been the most difficult aspect of making all the Bad Ben movies outside of just trying to secure financing?
The toughest part has been when I've tried to cast. Now, Scott was who plays Jackson in the films. I was very lucky with him, and you all have heard the story probably about how I got to meet Scott. He was working for a company that did, Becky Rainey says, great name, by the way, Squatch. He was working here and Miss Fernandez says, great to hear you. and hello. He was working for the HVAC company that worked on my air conditioner and heater, and he came here one time and he asked what I do, and I told him I make movies, and he just went about his business and he left. And the next time they came in to do their periodic maintenance, they said, "Hey, you remember Scott?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah, well, he quit because he went to pursue a career in acting." I said, "Son of a bitch." I told him I make movies, but he I was able to connect with several years later because he was on Facebook in an actor's room in Philly. And I said, "Did you used to work for so-and-so heating and air?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "You were at my," and then I invited him over, and he started in film 10. So he's been in 10, 11, 12, and he'll be in 13, and you've seen him in broadcast. But casting has been the toughest part because, like, casting Dracula for this wasn't easy. But I did find somebody that I've actually known for years that's an actor that's actually got, a trained actor. And previously, Jetta in The Crescent Moon Clown, she was an actor that I did a casting for, and she was very good. And the whole cast of Steelmanville Road belonged to a playhouse locally, well, about an hour away. But finding people has been tough. The stories have never been tough because we just do whatever we do. But that's probably been the toughest part about making them. Now, as far as distributing them goes, Amazon used to be golden, and then they became wacky. But the Bad Ben Roku channel and Fire TV channels picking up steam. Lots of people watched the premiere of 12 last month. So things are going good. But it's kind of like a dream job because I just hope to get to the point where they're self-sustaining, where I don't always have to be here begging people for money. But everybody, like 12 was entirely fan financed. So, but
how did you find Mitch? Mitch is one of my favorite guys.
Mitch is a great character. He was actually, if you remember in Bad or Ben, you remember David?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, David is actually a screenwriting professor at U of Arts in Philadelphia. And Mitch and Courtney were students of his that were from, actually, Philadelphia is about an hour away. It's about 50 miles from here. And Mitch and Courtney actually lived in Egg Harbor Township, like 5 minutes away from me. And so they came, and in Bad or Ben, they worked one night with us as production assistants. And then when they graduated, they contacted me. So that's how they got into, when did they first come back? 11, they came back full steam because they were in Undead. And then Mitch, they were both in 12 also. They had the scene. But Mitch, I don't think Mitch knows the town. Well, Courtney too. But Mitch has such a dry comic timing. And he's so funny. And when he says stuff, like we do a lot of this improv. And he is just such a blast to work with. And he's so talented. The videos he does and the stuff he does to entertain, he's just a very, very talented guy. He's actually doing a documentary on me and the Bad Ben films.
Oh, good deal.
So we'll see that. He's been at it now for a while, and he'll keep going until he's done.
Yeah, looking forward to that then.
But I will tell him he's got a fan in Squatch Rider.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. What else? You got anything else?
No, that's about it. Just calling to say hi, keep it going. So.
Well, thanks for calling in. And
You're welcome, man. Good luck and have a good one.
You too. Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye.
That's pretty amazing. I just switched it off. And Squatch, if you were a second later, I would have missed you. So yeah, we'll be. I won't be going anywhere near the shore tomorrow because of the air show, but we are going. We're going to get a bowl to put out for this stray cat, and maybe if we can, the thing about it is I know animals love to go outdoors, but this road is so busy. So if this cat doesn't belong to anybody and we get it close to the house and it can get along with Sophie, then maybe we'll adopt her. But we got to make sure because it's Sophie's house. Oh, thank you for calling, Squatch. Because I hate to, a cat, when they live outdoors, they got to fend for themselves. And what are they doing? Eating mice? And I know they would, Holly always keeps those litter pans clean. So it's been great. I'll hang around till this is done. I turned off the calls for now. Happy Chicken 1472. Why 1472 was Happy Chicken through Happy Chicken 1471 taken? Happy Chicken, now I gotta tell you, my spidey senses tell me you're up to something. Because I got all these different characters in here tonight that I don't recognize, and that's normally a sign. Did you call from a blocked number? Shenanigans are afoot is correct. Like the person that put up there, I have $10,000 and upwards to invest in a bad film. That person is so full of shit that I actually did something I rarely do. I just blocked them from here. And they probably came in with another name and another account, but that's okay. First of all, I wouldn't take it. That's too much. And so tomorrow's Wednesday, which it's trash and recycling day. That's always excitement here on the Steelmanville Road. And then we have to go to Walmart to get something. I have to get some more squirrel food. And maybe what I'll do, well, go ahead and ask your question here, Happy Chicken. I ought to put the camera out on the front lawn, and you guys can watch for the cat, the squirrel cam. Let me tell Mitch he has a fan. I'm doing a live broadcast right now. And a fan called in. And was taking live calls. A fan called and asked about you, saying you were his favorite character. And I said nice things about you. All right, we'll see if Mitch writes back. Sorry about that. The internet went down because the cameras disconnected and everything. I'm still waiting to see if Mitch answers. I shouldn't be frozen now. The weather here is beautiful. It's a little overcast. It rained about 2 hours ago. Hey, Google, what's the temperature?
The current temperature in Egg Harbor Township is 74 degrees.
74. It was 80, like 6. And then it dropped like 8 degrees when the rain came, which was nice. I can still see lightning off in the distance, but I just texted. Let me see what Scott's doing. Oh, shit. Try and see if I can get a hold of anybody. 94 at 7th. That's hot. I'll see if I can get Scott to call in. I want him to tell his ghost story. He's probably playing the Switch. Oh, Cobweb's out now? Did you have to pay for it? Because Holly brought that up and said she wants to watch it. It's supposed to be streaming this weekend. Nobody's calling. TTV. What's that? Well, we're going to watch that this weekend. All right, here's Scott. Scott, you're on live.
All right, what's up?
Well, I just wanted to say hi to Scott because we were talking about. Tell us a ghost story, Scott.
So I'll tell you all one of my best friends. His stories are pretty good too.
Hang on one second. Can everybody hear Scott? I want to see if I want to hear. Yeah, well, go ahead.
All right, so one of his stories that's pretty cool. He actually captured it. He's a cop, so he actually captured it on his Axon body camera. There's a super haunted building in my hometown, and they respond to calls there all the time because stuff gets tripped and they have to respond to calls. So one of the calls they got was that somebody was in the auditorium, which is basically a theater. It's got the stage, and there's 2 entrances right next to the stage, and that's it because it's an old building. And then there's a seating in front of the stage, and then there's 2 stairs at the end of that seating, but those doorways only go to stairs that go up to either side of the upper seating. So they get in there where the alarm was tripped, him and 2 other cops. When they come in, they're flashlighting around, and they look up top, and there's what appears to be like a teenage boy standing in the seating. So they all say, stop where you are, freeze, this and that. Like, stop where you are, do not move, do not move. So my buddy's got his flashlight on the kid, and he's saying, you stay right there. The kid's not moving. He's not saying anything. He's just staring at him. So when the 2 other police officers, they move up to the auditorium, they go into either side of those stairs up to the 2nd floor. So there's no way anyone could get by them. As they get to the top, the kid lowers down, it looks like he took an elevator down into the seating, so they can no longer see him. And my buddy still got his flashlight on where the kid was, and the 2 other cops clear every row of that seating all the way up to the top, and there was nobody there. So my buddy's like, all right, let's go. So they all hightailed it out of there.
He's got to get us that footage.
What's up?
He's got to get us that footage.
Yeah, it was on his body camera footage.
I would love to see that, but that gives me the creeps every time.
I'll have to ask him if he can find it and send it over to me. But they have a whole litany of stories from that particular building. But I thought that was one of the craziest ones because not only did he see it, 2 other officers saw it, and it was on 3 different body cams.
You know what I was thinking about doing? I was thinking about talking to Jamie
You're
over in.
breaking up pretty crazy.
All right, hang on a second. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. I was thinking about calling Jamie or messaging Jamie in the United Kingdom, and we should do a live stream. Access Paranormal Investigates, because that way the fans can see that when we edit it, we don't do any tomfoolery, no pun intended, but we are actually showing the footage as it happens, and everybody can partake.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm always down.
One of the fans just wrote, Scott, like, from Austin Powers.
Yeah, that would be really cool. We should do that.
All right, brother. It sounds like you're with family, so.
Yeah, we're over at a party.
All right. Well, who has a party on a Tuesday? Who has a party on a Tuesday night?
One of our friends. It's her sister's 18th birthday.
Oh, well, that's why you go. All right, let you go. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No worries at all. I'm down to talk to the fans and give them a live stream and tell them a ghost story or 2.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Have fun.
Okay, here's some breaking news. Oh, that's a joke. It's not breaking news. It was a political something or other. Let's see what I've got. Somebody from New Zealand. All right, well, this is going to make this guy angry, but I just blocked him on Twitter because he's got some hate speech on there. And I'm not about the hate speech. No, it was somebody wrote. It was something political. I don't like to what do they call it? To waddle into those woods, or I don't know. There's a saying for it. All right. Let's look here. One of the things that's sad is that in Hawaii, obviously, it's horrible what happened there with the wildfires. But the oldest tree in the woods was burned up, and they don't know if it's going to survive. Oh, listen to this. Uber facts. Many haunted houses have been investigated and found to contain high levels of carbon monoxide or other poisons, which can cause hallucinations. The carbon monoxide theory explains why haunted houses are often older houses, as they are more likely to contain aging and defective appliances that can leak this dangerous gas. Or they're haunted. Oh, Michael J. Fox. That's so sad. Did you guys know turtles have nerve endings in their shells? Did you ever see people take a toothbrush and brush the turtles? They are having a blast. Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk keep talking about this fight. It's so tough to find good news anymore. It's a good thing I'm still producing because this strike isn't ending soon. Yeah, turtles. I had a turtle with its shell cracked here one time and didn't know what to do. But there's a big rescue in our area that takes all kinds. Did I tell you about the bat? One day I walk out the back door, and this was before Sable and Archer, and there was a bat on the ground, and Byron looked at it. And anyway, I picked it up, and I probably started COVID. I put it in a box, and I called this rescue, and they drove down, and they took it and nursed it, and all, because it was small. Because bats, I don't know if you know this or not, but she told me they can't take off from the ground. They have to be like, if they were, like, if you find a bat on the ground, first of all, you shouldn't touch it. But if you can pick it up with something and put it up on a tree branch, then it can take off. But they nursed it to health and put it in a bat box. Have you ever seen them? They look like a birdhouse, but instead of a hole in the front, it has a hole on the underside. See how much you can learn from these live broadcasts? I'm staying on for 9 more minutes, folks. Did you guys hear when Scott told the story about first coming home from the military and moving into his dad's house? That really gave me the creeps. I was patient zero. I, knock on wood, don't think I've ever had COVID. And I don't know how people feel about it, but I can tell you I would take that shot weekly if I was to never get COVID. And I'll be getting a booster. In October, they're coming out with a new booster. So I'll get my flu shot and I'll get my COVID shot. Well, you know, we have bats out here. I haven't really, see, in the summer, typically, we're out here on the back deck. I don't sit out in the uncovered yard or anything, but when I would be outside at dusk once in a while, I would see a bat flying around. I haven't seen any in a while. My sister and her husband had COVID. My buddy Mike and his wife had COVID, and they were here. We were here talking in the driveway, and he went home and he told me he had it. You know, I'm not one for conspiracy theories, but I would love to find out the whole story behind COVID. Whoops, and dropped my cigar. You guys almost watched me go up in flames. Well, that was a sign to put that out. Well, if you remember, not this past year, but the year before in January, like everybody was getting it. Woodland, you should see some of my broadcasts in the winter when I'm inside downstairs wearing my hoodie. It's covered in burn holes. So it's such a nice night out here. If I could sleep in that, I have a recliner out here in the summer. It's the same recliner I have in the basement. Oh, Dalty. That's bad. Is he okay now? My sister, her husband, and his mother, who's in her 90s, had it. She didn't feel great, but she didn't really. I'm trying to think of all the people I know. Mike, Terry, Matt, his wife, his daughter. I don't know. It was such a weird time when that went on. I remember sitting home for all those months. I watched the entire Harry Potter series. I'd never seen it. Who's that? Oh, Mitch. I don't know if Swatch is still in here, but Mitch just wrote back, LOL, that's so nice. Well, I'm glad he's all better. And it was scary back there in the beginning. Cousin Darty never got it. I took her to get all her shots. If that made a difference or not. Who knows? You don't know. I was saying to my buddy Matt today. Like I said, I'm not one that believes in I got to go. I'm not one to believe in conspiracy theories, but I said to my buddy Matt today, hey, did you wonder if all this indictment stuff is an attempt by both parties to distract us? Do you wonder if the behavior in Washington in general is just trying to, and I'm not talking about to distract us from one individual or another, but distract us. Like all of a sudden you hear about UFOs. And I mean, you've heard about UFOs for years, but like Neil Tyson DeGrassi, I think that's his name. He did a broadcast. That guy is, I find him amazing. But he did a broadcast where he says, why is it that, he says, at any given time, 2 million people are in airplanes and they've got their phones and they take pictures out the windows that show the clouds clearly and cities below and all, yet, and we have satellites that take these amazing pictures pointing at Earth, you know, the ones that can look down onto a person laying on a blanket in a yard. But he says, why is it with all these people in the air at any given time with their phones or outside with their phones, why is it you don't have any clear pictures of UFOs, really? That can't be disproven. Because, you know, one of the things, and this is going to get a little technical here, but when you cut and paste something into a picture, it's very easy to tell if it's real or not by zooming in and around the edge. Zoom in till it's blurry, but if the picture of whatever's been pasted into the other picture is not the exact same resolution and pics, like the little dots that make up any picture, you will see it specifically around the edges. And while they've taken and shown UFOs up close, if they zoom in on them, you can see it's an object overlaid. Not in all cases, but in a lot. But like these Navy fighters that they pick up the footage of the Tic Tac, they called it. That thing was it's 10:59. That thing, I mean, that was taken through like the radar scope, so that's why it looked as funky as it did. But still, they have cameras and all. Why is there no clear pictures of it? Or you see pictures of them at night lights? Yeah, who knows? But anyway, folks, thank you for spending the night with me. If I've been entertaining to you at all, and you have a buck or two, there's the link at the bottom of the screen. You mean that little guy with that long telescoping finger didn't shove that up your ass? It's a line from Alien Agenda. So anyway, I'm going to hop off here. And if you have $1 or two and I've entertained you at all tonight, please send it the way of the Bad Ben Production Fund. I appreciate you. I love you. And I will talk to you tomorrow. See you. Love you. Bye.